Hey everybody, how's it going? Infinity, Brian, sucks that your internet's out. I hate streaming off a cell phone too. Seems like it, I don't actually pay for it, so I use an app that to do the tethering, and it disconnects randomly. Seems like always right in the middle. Like if I'm doing, it seems like when it's like it could disconnect, it's not gonna cause me a super big problem. It never does. And then if I'm trying to live stream or something like that, it seems like it does disconnect. But when the power went out, like what was it? Back, gosh, last summer I guess it was. When I had no power at my office for 2 days, I did that tethering thing off this whole setup and it worked though. So I guess fingers crossed. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Anyway, I digress. Rex, Eric, hey everybody, Robert, Donald, Andreas, Maurizio, David, good to see you. Indy, glad you're here. Cliff, Rob, Zoob, good morning, good morning, good morning. Zoob, I still owe you something. We'll get you something soon. Trying to work it out to be able to get you. Philip, Arturo, Carlene, Wade, good to see everybody. And if you want to chat with me, like all these fine people saying hey, click the button over here. Be a subscriber on the channel. A few seconds later, you can say hey, you can chat, you can ask questions, and talk to us. Continue the conversation. AT, don't recognize your handle. Welcome to the stream. Ivan, Francois, Pat, JB, Diana, George, welcome everybody, as always. And Windows updates. Come on now. I'm doing a live stream. I can't do Windows updates right now. And let's see. I brought a chart about the fund manager survey, and I need to pop it up because, well, I closed that window while I was closing the Windows updates. Yeah, I tell you, darn my luck lately. Darn my luck. Anyway, I got a bunch of alerts that popped up all of a sudden. Refresh trading view, and let's see, save and refresh the whole page, and then pull this over and then share it. And here you go. Here we go. Golly, this computer, I don't know, maybe I should reboot it more often. It freaks out sometimes. Here you go. Here you go, right here. Now, this is, people are looking at this like, wait a minute. This isn't a CNBC chart right here. You know, this is not something Kramer talks about. This is not, you're not your normal stuff here. All right. What we have, this is off the fund manager survey. Look at this prime book. This is selling pressure right here. This is the Z score for fund managers. All right. And it's specifically info and comm services, which that's where the big gains have been, right? Big tech, AI stuff. Look at this. Fund managers unloading. Unloading right here. We're seeing semiconductors right here. And this is moving on to the right hand chart here. SOX index price continuing to climb while exposure to semiconductors and semiconductor equipment dropping a little bit as percentage of the prime book. Now these are fund manager prime books, and it's kind of indicating that we might see funds continuing to liquidate and book their gains that they've had in the semiconductor space. So AI, as I talked about, we humans can only focus on a topic for a little while, then we get burnt out. I think we're approaching that burned out phase in AI where, okay, yeah, it's awesome, it's cool, it does all this, it'll talk to us, but it doesn't solve the world's problems. It's not solving the global warming. It's not, keeping people from wrecking their cars. It's not doing all the things yet. So maybe, just maybe, we've had our time in the sun for now, and we're gonna refresh, reload. What is that? There's a sticker there, and you can just see it. There we go. I looked over, I was like, there's a little white thing sticking up. Anyway. So I think there's another narrative probably going to pop up. Now, what narrative is it going to be? I don't know. We'll see what the mainstream media latches onto, but I think AI is getting to be played out right now. Um, the next one, I don't know. News doesn't really matter. The charts matter. The charts all say we're going to pull back, so it's going to be probably kind of bad news, maybe. Why the heck is my phone not connected to my headphones? What the heck? All right. Reconnect. There we go. So, fund managers offloading. That means also, oh, I bet I didn't throw the link over. Shoot. So, retail traders, we've been pretty active. We collectively have been pretty darn active since COVID. And funny enough, we don't go very many days without putting $1 billion of inflows into the market. All right. Now, it doesn't mean that we're inflowing every day. All right. We sometimes take money back out of the market. But in general, it doesn't go more than about a week before we have a day of $1 billion of inflows. Right now, today, we have been 45 trading days, 45 consecutive trading days without having $1 billion flow into the market. And to me, that's pretty wild that we've gone that long. 45 days. And let's see if I can find that really quickly. Here we go. Let's see if I can I find that chart? There it is. Found it. Let's pull it over. Look at this. 45 trading days right here. Consecutive trading days when the aggregate net retail flow into the market is less than $1 billion. So this is all the way back before COVID, right? We had 20 days right before we came into COVID. Since COVID, we don't go longer than about 2 trading weeks, 10 days. And I think that was 11 days right there. Right now, we're on 45 days where retail traders have not thrown $1 billion into the market. This is indicating we could be kind of squeaking out the end of this, all right? Running out of airspeed. You know, we went vertical, and then the jets the air's getting thin. The jets can't make the power. We're seeing retail, if the market's moving higher on retail, we're seeing that crack right here. If the market's moving higher on fund managers, we're seeing them start booking profits. These are the signs before we get a bigger flush. This bigger flush could be, like we saw last summer, July through October. All right. It sounds like Goose is flying. Yeah, Goose is flying today, so watch out. Anyway. I mean, these things are in the charts, right? Is it deja vu for last summer? Look right over here. Look what we did. We went from here down to here. That's a 30% pullback almost. You see that number right there? 27.5%. What would that get us right now? And funny enough, that's close to a fib number that I follow a lot. Oh, that was interesting. So I can click delete and it deletes stuff off the chart, but not the drawing. I don't know. So if we go over and zoom up on the current price action and we do a 27% pullback, if we just did the same thing we did last summer, right? Nothing crazy, not even a crazy prediction, just echoing. Oh man, we're gonna have to go down further. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Oh man, this is getting bad. Whoo. There's 27.5. Everybody see that number right there? See that number? Highlighting in red right there? If we just do the same size pullback that we did last summer, 3 months, starting in July, August, September, October. We did a 27% pullback last summer. 39.85. We've been back to 4,000 on the S&P right there. Be careful, all right? That's a 1,500 point pullback. Just doing the same pullback we did last summer. All right? Be careful. I mean, that's not even an epic crash prediction. Like, that's just the pullback we did last summer. I mean, be careful. That's the name of the game there. All right. If we just echoed that move, that's all I'm talking about is just copying that correction right there, putting it right over here. That's what we could get back down to 4,000. All right. Could we do it? Absolutely, we could do it. Absolutely. Well, I guess I did that a little deep. I did that for the correction in 22. Excuse me. Last summer. I messed that up. Sorry. Strike that. Redo. Right there. Last summer. 10%. 10% is right off the high right here. 10% right there. 10% is down to just below the roadmap line. 5,000. If we did a copy of the correction we did in 22, that would be down to 4,000. There we go. Corrected my numbers. Sorry about that. Sorry to freak anybody out. So we copy this correction in 22 down to 4,000. We copy this correction last summer back down to 5,000. Which, that's not far away. I mean, 500 points. So 1,500 points. We're doing a bigger correction. And imagine we got something like COVID. What if something came up that we weren't expecting at all? An unknown. That's a 36%er right there. Something we can't predict at all. 36%. Take us right back down to 3,500. Starting to get fully cooked on the upside, and be careful. Alrighty. Moving on. All trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. This presentation intended to be informational, educational, fun, and entertaining, not a recommendation to buy or sell any financial instruments, which means no stocks, no options, no bonds, no forex, no futures, no cryptos, no treasuries. Don't long them, don't short them, don't trade them. I mean, think about it. Winner, loser, buyer, seller, every trade. Every trade. And if you desire personal financial advice, hire and consult a financial advisor. It's not what I do. Don't buy stuff from gurus you don't trust. Don't buy stuff from people like me out here hawking stuff if you don't trust us. I mean, be careful, all right? The numbers are in the charts. Be prepared for echoes of moves, all right? Like we can echo that move right up here. We could echo this smaller move right up here 1 year later. We can echo these things over and over and over. So we could get a pullback just like this one. Just like that one, high to low. That was just a year ago. Right off of there. Oop, put it on the actual high right there. Puts us right back down, 4,800. Yeah, even below 5,000. I was just using the drawing tools, not anything even fancy. I just drew that right off the high to low, just the line tool. Click the high, click the low, move it over. That's support. We got the roadmap line potentially coming up in between there. Potentially. We'd arc it off if we start coming back down. So watch out, all right? How many billions of dollars does that represent in the market? A lot. How many trillions of dollars does that represent in the market? Probably a lot. So, as we were talking about yesterday, NVIDIA moving $1 on their share price is $25 billion moving into or out of the markets. $25 billion. And the other stuff that people are saying is crazy, up like this, the whole company value, the whole value of the company, only $8 billion, almost $9 billion. While NVIDIA sitting there with 3.1 trillion. Watch out. CVS got crushed. Broke that one. Alrighty. I did something to my... Check this out. This is the way it looked. Watch this. Now I got these marks for open. Kind of rearranged the data a little bit. These are the 30-minute alerts. We're probably going to... And not to, bust anybody's bubble here, surprise you, we're going to make this available next week. July 1st, right here, coming at you. This will be available to the public right here. This one is the Echo Trade one. And winner, winner, winner. Loser, loser, loser. It's pretty interesting, I think. I added this column to mark the wins, losses, and open ones. So the green is colored on probability. So these are... The dash is still open. Close, close, close. A couple of these open. Right there. This thing prints out a lot of trades. This is only since the 17th on the 30-minute chart. This thing throws out automatic alerts. And we're going to make this available. Keep building more and cooler and slicker stuff to go with this too. So I keep adding on as we get closer to making this available to the public. Anyway, PayPal. Let's go look at that one. Did it crush? Yeah, I'm crushed. Looks like PayPal's going down. We're at support. So support right here. That move up. 618 retrace. If we hold it, potentially going higher. If we fold it, get down here, odds are we're crushing it down to 42, 43, where I've been looking for PayPal to go for, what, 2 years? Since all the way back here. Yeah, almost 2 years. I've been talking about PayPal going down to 42. If we get below this support, game on. Game on. What about my options? Well, if you saw the free trade I threw up, that one's probably going to be a loser unless this thing holds support right here and turns. I'm not closing it until we break support. And even then, I may just ride it out to zero because I buy every position. Every position I buy, thinking it could go to zero because, well, they can. All right? We can have like black swan events and all that stuff. Is my giant multi-$100,000 crypto position gonna suck if it goes to zero? Yeah, that's gonna suck. That's gonna hurt a little bit. But every position, I'm in it. Could go to zero. It's just kind of the way it goes. Hey, Wrongamer, good to see you. Sledge, good to see you too. And that's what we got. All right. Circling back to the indexes. What do we got on the overnight action? Let's see what we got cooking. So ES looking a little gnarly here. This is, oh, look at that. Look how perfect that was. Look at those highs. Look at that. It's almost like a computer was doing that. Look, move up, back to the bottom. 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 That's kind of wild. VLO, sell. That's interesting since oil was ripping there a minute ago. And look at this chart. We don't look at this very often. This looks pretty darn bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right in the bottom. 1, 2. Can't even muster a third move up. That could be the correction. That was, if that's a, so here's the scary thing on this chart. Here's the scary thing. Usually I'm drawing this on the upside, all right? This is a potential 5 waves down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right here. Wave 2s will typically bottom. Now you have to flip this whole thing up. So flip this whole thing upside down. So to make this make sense, let's do this. YM divided by 1. YM, don't erase what I put. Divided by 1. Inverse, right? 1 over. That's what I need. 1 over YM. Math brain not running this morning. There we go. So we've got this, right, this is inversed chart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, wave 2s typically bottom in the vicinity of 4. So if that was the bottom of 2, well, that's the bottom of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this was 5. All right. So this would be the bigger circle 1. This would be the bigger potential circle 2, which could lead us to a 3 that is absolutely bananas nuts higher, which higher means lower. And this looks like a 1, 2 right there. Back down to the roadmap line, holding the support right there. Holding support. This goes ripping. This is going to be wild. All right. Just warning you. I don't usually look at this one, but it's hard to ignore sometimes when is this the one telling the truth in the market, even though it's manipulated and skewed and I don't like it at all. Corresponds with Russell. Russell, look at this. When we go back out to the daily, that's got the setup 1, 2. If we break down below here, break below here, we're going on a bigger flush. If somehow we can manage to break above these 2 highs right here from back in March and May, probably come up here to another resistance, but we're hanging out right on top of the roadmap line right now. Look what we did over here, hanging out in the roadmap line, broke down. Hanging out in the roadmap line at a lower high, could make a little spike and break down. Or I already did the spike and we're going to break down. Be careful. These a lot of indications that things are getting rocky here. CL, and wouldn't this be a crazy thing? And the market starts tanking and oil goes ripping off. I really wanted to see this hit the roadmap line, but this is indicating that we may go test this 83 area. If we can get above that, well, odds are we're going higher. Odds are, just like back here, if we can break above it, and now we've got an interesting uptrend of highs going here. Oh, wrong tool. Slower, flatter trend line here. Trend lines are not the strong thing in the market. Technical analysis, it's kind of a weak technical analysis tool. But if we can break through that uptrend of highs, we're popping up to this 83 area. We get above that, going up here, 90. We get above that, we're cruising on up here, 105. We get above that, much, much higher prices. So this thing is wound up with a potential ladder climb on the fibs. Huge potential ladder climb on the fibs. So moving on. Gold. Look at this baby. Just churning, churning, churning. That's another downtrend of highs. Taking it back a little bit today. My weekly gold trade did not kick off yesterday due to the weakness here. We're in this downtrend, keeping us out of trouble. We may see this flush down to the roadmap line. Entirely possible at this point. If we get below this low right here, 2287, down here's the target right there. Bitcoin showing a little bit of strength. And I think the Crypto Unleashed window opened. I need to go check that after I get off of here. See if I can get a trade out. So that right there looks, that could be the bottom. Like at the spot market, we hit the roadmap line. So right here, looking at we're just hanging right on the roadmap line. A break above these 2 highs at 62,500. It's going to indicate we're probably going to go cruising higher right off of that. Ethereum, I really wanted to see hit that 32. We came down like $30 shy. And it's kind of turning a little bit here. So if you draw kind of a downtrend of highs, right at it, if we can get above it, maybe up into 35, 3600, we're probably going to go cruising right on up to 4,000, possibly 5,000. And maybe kick off the bigger move to 7,500, possibly 13,000. Pretty wild, right? Pretty wild. Dollar, just churning, burning. This has set up this move up right here has set up the possibility that we go cruising on up. 106.50, 107, possibly this 108.50 area right here. It's tipped the odds we're doing that, but rejecting today. We can still reject anywhere in here, lower high, and fail. But that's just, it doesn't, I mean, it's just high probability that we go up, but it doesn't have to. None of these have to. All right, we already kicked off the buy right there. Pull this down. Everybody see what I'm talking about. This buy right here. Highlight it with the red. Right there, that buy. This guy right there. That was a bounce. All right, the target right up here. Right up here, that purple line. That's the target. 86% of the time we set up this pattern, it works out. Profit factor 2.06. There's been 22 instances of this in the last however long. I'd have to look at the list of trades, see how far back this goes. This is the underlying, back to 1974. 22 trades back to 1974. I mean, dollar's probably going higher. Like probably, as in 86% chance, right? Based on history of this pattern setting up. We're probably going to go tag at least that 106.80 area right up there. Right up there. It just looks like more chop. And it's just going to grind it up. Now, how long? Maybe like, well, JT, how long does that take? How long, right? That's the big question. Typically, this takes 40 days on average from the go time till we get there. That's on average. So some of these could take longer, some of them take shorter, but that's going to be from right there, 40 trading days, which puts us on average right out here like that. So we're looking at the mid-August before we get up there. So we could grind this baby. We could get dips and pops and whatever mid-August before we get up there. On average, 40, these all take about 40 to 45 trading days. Almost all of them. It's kind of crazy, this tool. All right. Moving on. Minimize that. Turn it off. There. Anybody think that's cool? Let me know in the chat that I have these kind of statistics on the market now. It's a pretty freaking cool tool. And it powers this right here. We've named it the Apollo algorithm. So if you see anything coming out about the Apollo algorithm, this is the Apollo algorithm. Kind of have my Trading Lab VIP members name it when they were here earlier in the month. And there you go. This is what powers this whole thing. So this one right here is Echo Trades powered by Apollo. We're going to relaunch that probably in the future. It's experimental basis right now. This has been right here. My Trading Lab group has access to this right here, and we're going to make that available to people. So, I just had this breakout watch list up here. I need to clean up the page just a little bit more before everybody gets access to it. So, all right, MSTR still being a little soft with Bitcoin not really moving. Are we going to break out? Are we going to break down? Nothing clear at the moment. If we could bounce off the roadmap line, that sets us up for a bigger outsized move on MSTR. If we just go from where we are right now, maybe we push possibly the 2400 area. Maybe we only get 2200. So I'd like to see a bigger touch of the roadmap line, but we may or may not do that. RH. That's just some choppy sideways stuff right there. Yeah, it moves a lot of dollars, but that's unreliable. Unreliable stuff right there. And I don't want to put my money at risk in that. There's so many other opportunities out there. Like the Apollo algorithm stuff. Like, I mean, look at this. Look at this right here. This is just, yeah, that's the Echo Trade one. Let's look at this one. This is the 30-minute chart one. This is June 17th right there through yesterday. Look how many trades that is. Yeah, sure, there were some losses in there, but I mean, win. A few still open. These go pretty quick. The ones that are crossed out are closed, obviously. And all these ones from yesterday still open. We may see some of those hit. Yesterday, few from the day before. Few from the day before that still open. There was a lot on Monday. Look at that. 16 trades right there on Monday. 16 entries. Had 3 wins, 2 losses out of the ones that are closed. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. That on average, this has been producing about 2.8 wins per day. Isn't that crazy? So this is all coming up very soon. Watch for more information. I'll give you an opportunity next week. I'm flying down to Jacksonville, and we're gonna, like, a whole group of my company it got attention in the company. The whole group of people are coming to Jacksonville to talk to me about this and show it to the world. So it's pretty wild that I've set up this whole automated alert system, and other people are taking notice and they want to know more. So ASML kind of sitting there, failing to break out fully. 1100 on the upside, and support down here at 900. What's the name of the tool? It's called the Apollo algorithm. It's what we're going to launch it as next week. So if you want access to it, you're gonna have to stay tuned. Stay tuned. I don't have any link for it yet. It's not for sale yet. Termite Trading Lab members are the only ones that have access to it right now. So I call it the Apollo algorithm. It's basically this right here. I've coded up the market roadmap bounce in a smart way. So yeah, Kathy loves working, loves the alerts. So yeah, and Gaten's a brand new TTL member. So, and all right. So AMAT still hanging at resistance, may get a pullback right there. Basically, it looks for this same roadmap pattern that we look for every day in the markets right here. Oh, look at PANW. Beautiful breakout right here. If we can get the close above this resistance, this nasty crap right here, if we can get the daily close above that right there, we're set for that rally right there. I am long from back here. Been sitting in this with 5 shares for freaking months and months, and we may finally get the payday. I actually have my order just conservatively at 400-ish right there for my 5 whole shares. But look at that. I got in at 300. Possibly going to book out at 400. That's $100 a share. 5 shares, $500. But that's 33% on shares. And it's the same pattern that powers the Apollo algorithm right there. The pullback to the roadmap line. If you want the roadmap line, link is in the description down below. It's like $5 right there. You don't get the Apollo algorithm, the automated thing. Like, that's a whole new level of stuff. Like, I have spent tons of time coding that up. Just ask Sledge, he's seen it. You can ask Kathy, she's seen it. Goose has seen it. Like, all the Tiermite Trading Lab people have seen me, all the hours, the work I've put into doing this, and it just keeps getting better too. So it's not done yet, and we have a whole new layer of awesome that I'm gonna work on after I get it out to the public. Whole new layer of awesome. Like, not even gonna tease it yet, because we don't even have the main algorithm out yet. it on all time frames. It's actually, let me load up the statistics and just go through it for a second, just to show you the power, the insane power of this thing. Like, it's so powerful to have these kind of statistics here. So look, I've pulled so far. This is a list of 3,600 tickers. All right, it's a crazy big list. And right here, if we pull this over, so this represents about 20,000 trading days. All right. Oh, it's 20,000 calendar days. Excuse me, 20,000 calendar days, 14,000 trading days. So far, this is not complete with all 3,600 tickers yet. It's 2,200 tickers. 34,000 trades in this set of data right here. Trades per day, 2.4 out of 2,200 tickers. And this is just a daily setup. This is the 1-day setup right here. Average percent profitable out of, like, there's no, I'm not, reducing the tickers or anything like that. 74.4% profitable. Right? So out of the 34,000 trades, 74.4% of them are profitable. So that's the expectancy, really. and it keeps honing in right on that. No matter the time frame, no matter the anything. While this is the daily, it doesn't matter if I do them on the hourly. It doesn't matter if I do them on a 5-minute chart. 74.4% of the time they win. That's a high probability pattern. All right. Average duration, 42.5 days. These are trading days, not calendar days, because this is 42.5 candles is the average right there. If we go look at the 60-minute ones right here, right? 60-minute ones, same sort of stats are showing up. We see average percent profitable hanging out at 75, average duration 46 candles. This list is not nearly as comprehensive. We only have roughly 117 tickers in this list right here. That's the Echo Trade one. And the one that powers the 30-minute. Let me see if I can pull that up really quickly. And where did it go? 30-minute, 30-minute, 30-minute. There it is. Right there. And dun, 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 dun. So the 30-minute one right here, we have roughly 200 tickers on the list. Yeah, roughly 200, 193. We get about, I don't even have the length of the trade put on here, but it produces about 6 trades a day on average right there. And there's the 77% profitable. And the average length of trade is right in 40 candles. So this is a pretty powerful tool. I mean, it works on all time frames. I've completely built and automated the 60-minute, which is tied to Echo Trades specifically. That's why the list is only 100 tickers. And then the 30-minute alerts is the OG, the original one that I came up with, and we're going to launch that one and give people access to those trades. And that's what you see right here. And I only have this database loading the last 10 trading days. So that's why the list didn't keep going longer. But it's been rolling for like 3 months now. We've produced an insane number of trades. Insane. Like I said, 16. I think the top day was 35 trades in one day. 35 entries. 35 entries. That's powerful. Like, you don't have to go looking for them. It finds them and tells you that they're set up. So it requires a high. It requires a market roadmap line touch, and it requires a break back above the 618 level. So all the things, and then it sets the target up there at the 1272. Powerful stuff. So PANW, doing the pattern. VKTX, coming down at the roadmap line. It was a popper. Kimberly's here, my favorite subscriber. I see you, baby. Shaking that. Never mind. Break above here, possibly going higher. This is a biotech pharma. Caution is advised. Biotech pharma. Watch out. Just watch out. And meds. Wow. There's a bunch of these that were on the... I saw a bunch of medical stuff. Not sure what meds does, but that looks like a gnarly chart pattern. Possibly head and shoulders if we spike a lower high again and then drop. And watch out below. It's got some reverse splits in here. That's a basic dumpster fire right there. I wouldn't trade that with your money. I wouldn't trade that with your money. Be careful. That can burn you. Coin. Coming back down to the roadmap line. Come on, just flush it to the roadmap line. Just flush it. I'm going to be disappointed if we just break out higher. McCormick. Nice pop. Still lower high. Flute. Flutter Entertainment. That's the target down there. Little pop. Come on, just flush it down to the target. TSM. Flush it. Flush. Now we could push on up to 200 on TSM. Starting to look a little over the skis there though. 200 and roadmap line at 134. So that's your upside $30, downside $40. CTS. Golly, my nose itching. CTS. Those fib lines. Oh, came. Actually, look at this. Watch this. Put this fib line right there. Look, we touched that new fib line I've been using. So commonly I've held, these are zones. And I added that purple line as the 10% zone. Plus or minus 10% is kind of what I've been looking at. That 1.1448 is 10% less than the 1272. And we tagged it. That 1448 is what is coded into the Apollo algorithm. And I probably should rename that so it says Apollo, but that's a minor thing. To me, it's a market roadmap bounce. And I coded that into an algorithm, and I call it the Apollo algorithm at this point. So we could go higher here. That could be a reversal point, the bottom. A break up. Yeah, we're pushing the limits here. If we can get a daily close right up here around 180, possibly going to 210, maybe 220. This is a biotech pharma, once again, and that is a choppy, sideways, horrible piece of junk leading up into this. All right, so be careful. The likelihood that fires off and goes on this daily chart. Let's look down here. Yeah, less than the typical one, right? We're a little bit below average here. So be careful. You have to chase that one. Kasi Pharma. Like all these biotech pharmas. So that one, the high way up here, the low way down here. We're sitting right at the 618 resistance. Right there. Could we break higher and go up to 10? Yeah. This meets two of the 4 criteria that I don't like the trade. 1, it's a biotech pharma. Anything the FDA is involved in. Anything the Food and Drug Administration of the United States is involved in, that's hit number 1. Hit number 2, it's under $10. All right, those are 2 out of the 4 things that don't follow my patterns. That's 2 of the 4 things on the list. Now, number 3 is leverage, and then number 4 is anything in China. So if this was in China, that's like 3 out of 4. Be careful. Ultra gold. Looks like we're going to come back down to the roadmap line. Right there. That's what ultra gold looks like we're going to do. You want leverage gold? Here you go. ProShares, ultra gold, ugly. And warrants on Trump Media. Hey, I fired off one of the things. It has no history of ever working or ever completing a trade. So this is the first one. And, well, it may very well hit the target at 40. Warrants can be a leveraged way to play. You can get more bang for your buck sometimes trading warrants. So DJT, WW is the warrants. You may be like, what the heck are warrants? You need to go Investopedia and look up what stock warrants are. Beyond the scope of what JT wants to talk about today. And that's investopedia.com. Like Wikipedia, just investopedia.com. And let's just take a peek at DJT, back up to the roadmap line. This one's probably going down here, but that doesn't mean that we won't pop a little bit back up in here, and those warrants could pop all the way to their target. That is a higher low right now, but that's lower highs. This is like my least favorite pattern ever right here. Look at this. Let's just clean it up and draw the least favorite pattern. Oh, man, we can even go back to... Oh, come on now. Come on now. And then right there. Yeah, look at that. Nugget. That's a buy. Cha-ching. That's the Apollo kicking off right there. GDX. Cha-ching. That's a buy right there. DE. Cha-ching. That's a buy right there. BP. Ching. It's a buy. Tech. man, getting a bunch of entries. Look at that. EWA. How? Roblox. That was cashing out on Roblox right there. You want to see how this works? We pop over here. Yeah. This page last generated. You can't see it because of the monster. 9:30 a.m. today. Refresh. You can see all those brand new trades. So right there, EWA, 94% win rate. Tech, 85% historic win rate. That's historic win rate right there at the top. Right there. That's your historic win rate right there. So those trades firing off. Here's your trigger price right here, the entry price. Right over there, that column. Here's your targets right there, that column. Beautiful stuff, right? Beautiful. So you can see that one's high probability. That one's super high probability. That's super high probability. EWA. Entry 2444. 2460 is the target. Now, you'd be like, well, what the heck's the target? Let's just go look at EWA real quick. Really quickly. EWA. 30-minute time frame. There's another one. EWC. That one, that's a buy. Yep. So the entry, it's going to be right here, right there. That close above the 618 fires it off. Entry now, target right there. Not necessarily a big move, all right? We're not looking for, this is just a small time frame, 30-minute. They typically last, remember, about 40 candles. So 40 30-minute candles, what is that? 3 days, 3 trading days, all right? These are quick burn trades. So this could last 3 days to get up here. You can see it's been kind of lackluster on the climb over here. Now, we zoom out and look at it a little bit. Is this a great trade? Well, historically it has been, and it's just been chopping around, so there's no reason to think it won't chop around and hit that target. It's not that far away. It's a reasonable trade. Now, would I go all in? Am I putting, all my hundreds of thousands of dollars in this? No. I don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars to put in it, but I'm not, small risk, all right? Control your risk. 1% exposure. Put a 1% on this. 1%. Possibly make 3% on your 1%. What would that move be? Let's just double check. How much move is that? Yeah, this one's only a 0.7% move. All right. But that's how it works. That's what the Apollo algorithm does. Let's go check another one. Let's look at tech. TEK. We had the 48. That was not very big. Let's see. None of these are very big right here. That's the unfortunate. That's another thing you can. Sometimes the moves aren't that big. Like if they've been just chopping around. These aren't giant moves right here. Right? These are just 1%-ish moves or less. Now, some moves are pretty big, like DE. Let's go look at DE because that has a pretty substantial move. And 71% is not a bad, while it is slightly below the 74% historic win rate across all tickers, not that bad. We could also look at GDX here in a minute. So GDX is a reasonable one. And we've got that other entry, EWC. Yeah, that one's a smaller move too. So let's take a look at DE on the 30-minute time frame. So it's going to be probably this high, this low. Why the highs, why the lows? It's part of how I coded the algorithm, all right? It picks the highs and lows pretty good. Why not go to this one? Well, you could. It still works, and that may be the high. I'll have to check the target here at 386.90. Double check the target, 386.99. Yeah, that's going to be the high it picked right there, that high. Get it right on the highs and lows. Yeah, there we go. 386.9. Yeah, that's it. So it closed just barely above that. Looks like it may pull back, but set up the entry right there is the target. You see, it's with the limited. This actually only it doesn't have the deep back testing back to 40 years or whatever. It only has limited time. So lately, it's been a little less profitable on this pattern for DE in the current history. But, and it usually lasts about 40 bars. So about 3 days. So it may take it about 3, That's on average, all right? That's average bars, so it could take longer than that. Could take 6 days. Could take 9 days. That's the average. Winners and losers combined. Average length of the trade. Fascinating stuff, I think. It's kind of fun to have all these statistics built into the stuff. So anyway, looks like I've lost the crowd a little bit. So let's hit a few more of the losers and wrap this baby up today. ADUS, roadmap line right down here. Probably heading down. GS, probably heading down. Possibly. This is in front of financial earnings coming out in 2 weeks. MU, possibly coming down, but we may just consolidate a little bit before we cruise on higher to 227, possibly 340 up there for MU. Visa still chopping below the trigger point at the 618. This is the Apollo algorithm setup, the market roadmap setup. The target would be 294.50 if we can fire it off, getting a close above this 284 area. International paper getting whacked after hitting the resistance zone right up there at the 618. Same pattern. Resistance, pulling down. If we turn back below the roadmap line, probably going on an extension lower. NVDX. NVIDIA leveraged, all right? Leverage stuff, be careful. May return to the roadmap line. Levi's. Ooh, what a drop. What a drop. Right back down. I tell you, like all these stocks are just, everything can go right back to the roadmap line and hunt for support. If we can turn it, burn it, gap fill it, upside 25, 26. If we maintain a move down in here, we may get a deeper retrace. This low, this high, support right down in this zone around 16. And that's where it consolidated on the way up. HIMS probably coming back to the roadmap line, or at least to the. So it's got 2 levels here. This one will be the first one to watch if we get below that, and that was crooked as crap. Get below that roadmap line, and they may come up and be the same point out here in August. Walgreen Boots Alliance. How long before they merge with CVS? Countdown's on. Or get bought up by Amazon or something like that. AYI. Back to the roadmap line. Can we bounce? Do we bounce? Got to move back up to the 257 to go to 278, 284, possibly 301 on the upside. NVDU. Roadmap line. PDD. Getting close to the roadmap line. Look, that was the Apollo algorithm. Fired off there. Hit the target there. Retracing again. Set up a new one. SM. New potential setup on the Apollo. That high. That low. Break above here. 55. In E. I warned that was potentially going to come back down. So be careful. That one can come all the way back down here. Oh, arrow. All the way back down here. Watch out for that to happen. CVS moving down in sympathy for Walgreen Boots Alliance. And watch out. USD semiconductor ETF. And that can viciously retrace back down to the roadmap line. Be careful. RXRX, another biotech pharma. Watch out. That's just chopping sideways. Nothing great there. Bias for the day is, without any catalysts, probably not going to do much today. Tomorrow, we're getting a PCE first thing in the morning. Didn't hit this earlier, but tomorrow we're getting PCE right here. First thing, 8:30 in the morning. Watch out for that right there. Watch out for that PCE. Right? Watch out for this one right here. PCE. That's Powell's favorite read on inflation. If that comes in hot and spicy, we're going to see a pullback. That could be the catalyst that causes us to pull back. Now, if it comes in nice and light, we're just going to continue to grind until something does shock the market and cause us to pull back. So we're just Everything's reaching the red line right now. You know, how long can you run a race car in the red line? Not long before the wheels come off or the motor pops or blows or whatever. All right. Be careful. Be careful. We'll see you tomorrow. Make sure you're subscribed. 9:15 a.m. Same bat time, same bat channel.